So Arch Manning set to be the quarterback of Texas, right? And they take on Ohio State, first game of the year, in the shoe. And Archie Manning, who's the grandfather to Arch Manning, came out and said, hey, look, he's not going to be in the draft this year. He's going to be at Texas in next year. Last hour we had Josh Pate on. If you know college football, you probably know Josh Pate. He's got his own college football show. His stock continues to go up, 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 and up. I asked Josh about the idea that Arch would stay in Texas, not just for this season, but for the next one.
That's been the talk around him since he got there. If I don't buy it, it's just me calling him a bald-faced liar, and I don't think they are. Now, he could just explode this year and be projected number one overall, and, of course, you got a choice to make at that point. I am not applying those kind of expectations to him. Now, this is, me personally. The market is. The odds boards are. I'm not. I am expecting him to be good to really good with flashes of elite, and if he delivers anything above and beyond that, so be it. But I do want to take a step back. I mean, it's very obvious nothing around him is conventional. Archie Manning talking about that, chief among them. His thought process in the way he gets to handle himself because of what his last name is, chief among them. But when is the last time that we had known a kid for over half a decade? People have been talking about this dude over half a decade, like fully formed opinions, and we haven't even seen him be listed as the number one quarterback at Texas yet. So you want to talk about expectations? Think about how many hard-boiled expectations and thoughts and opinions people have of him without ever seeing him play entire 6-game stretches of a season before. I don't know that we've ever really seen that dynamic with anyone, and I guess it would have to be a famous last name for a kid to have even mattered as a sophomore in high school like he did.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked a little bit about Tim Tebow mattering, so there's a lot of pressure. I don't think this is to take any of the pressure off him. I just don't. I just don't. Like, if we were to just kind of throw out our favorite quarterbacks from the last 15 years, 20 years in the NFL, what would they have in common? Right? I ask you, Music. I ask you, Tui. Throw out a quarterback. Like, Phillip Rivers, I think I remember him starting like 55 games in college. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, right? They played their senior year. Bo Nix, 5 years of college. Michael Penix. Joe Burrow didn't start a ton, but he did start that second full season with LSU after sitting, mostly because of injury, some because he was buried. Again, it's not the end-all, be-all, but go through the list of the best quarterbacks, and most all of them started 2 years fully.
Doug, I'm going to give you one, and he had a couple of stops. He was a number one overall pick, and he really only played 1 year, Kyler Murray.
Yeah. And I would also say that Kyler, part of the stuff that held him back early was that, he didn't really know how to be a pro. I think some of that has been, on the other hand, like, look, Baker Mayfield has had a great resurgence, right? Baker Mayfield started at Tech, and then they were bringing in Pat Mahomes, so he left, went to Oklahoma, started at Oklahoma for a couple years. Yeah, listen, we don't deal with a world of absolutes. Yeah, we don't deal with the world. You could make the first thing with Kyler Murray should be pointed out was he was in a different position than anybody because he had the leverage of baseball. Now, that doesn't mean that it was the right decision. It ends up being the right decision for him at the time. But this is playing the numbers. That's all it is. It's playing the numbers. All right, give me another one. Like, kind of go through it. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He didn't start 4 years, but he did. It was junior college, and then there was Cal, and then he came out, and then he sat and waited. The difference also now is that, we talked to Mark Dominic. Most guys get a year and a half. They don't care if your year and a half comes from after you start 1 year or after you start 3. They don't care. They're judging you based upon what you can do in that first year and a half, whether or not they're going to stand by you and you're going to be their quarterback and eventually extend you. Like, we could actually do this. This it seems like a long process, but it's not. Go through the quarterbacks in the NFL. And you'd be like, wow, that actually is kind of a real thing. I don't think it's not about money for them because they have plenty of money. It just isn't. Right? Lamar, 3 years as a starter. Justin Herbert, he stayed an extra year. We talked about Knicks. Okay. Mahomes was a 3-year starter, I want to say, at Tech. At Tech. Like, the numbers are kind of there for you. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is the guy. He started at Alabama, then lost his job, then went and started at Oklahoma. Dak Prescott, 4-year starter.
Doug, Mahomes was 3 years. Also, another guy we've talked about today he's had issues and injuries. Anthony Richardson really only had 1 year at Florida, and we see kind of where he's at.
Sure. Too much too soon. Then they throw you in there, they expect you to play. Like, wow, he really isn't that refined. Yeah, he barely played in college. Needs time. Jane Daniels, right? When he left Arizona State, those guys were cleaning out his locker for him. He goes to LSU and wins the Heisman Trophy, and, that's pretty impressive. Been really impressive. So, look, Jordan Love is different. Jordan Love is the only guy who was a first-round pick who sat. And the thing working against Jordan Love, and one of the reasons that he gets a little bit of a grace period even now with his third full season as a starter is he barely started in college. 2 years. 1 year was good. 1 year was different coaches. But Michael Penix. Kind of go through the list, and you're like, wow, might be onto something. It's not me. This is, if you don't need the money, and you have people who believe in you, and you got 2 uncles that have done it and stayed the extra year, and your grandpa's like, you're staying, this is what's best for you, then he's staying. It's not really that, what do the kids say? It's not that deep. It's not that deep. So, it sounds groundbreaking because all those guys, eventually they all want to be NFL quarterbacks, but you don't have to sprint to something. Walk to it. Make sure you're ready for it if you're Archie Manning.